Hi, I'm Ryan Vedros,
And I'm Ryan Willy.
and this is our sales pitch for desalination plants.
So imagine, if you will, you've lived near a freshwater source your entire life until the agriculture ran the river dry. At which point you now have to begin bringing water in weekly by truck until you can't afford to pay for the water price anymore because it's controlled by a private company. It's not government regulated. So they basically just price you out of the area you're able to live in. But you don't have to imagine this because this is a reality for a lot of Chileans.
And it's not an isolated incident for Chile either. It's if you look at this map, you can see that there are droughts worldwide that have been increasing in severity. This map's from 2017, and with those droughts come an increasing amount of water shortages across the globe.
So groundwater in the future, by 2030, 700 million people worldwide will be displaced by intense water scarcity, so they'll have to move from where they currently live because of water scarcity. And then half the global population will experience water scarcity at least once a month by 2050. And by 2071, half of the 204 U.S. freshwater aquifers will be taxed, and they won't be able to meet their monthly demand from the population.
So we spoke about climate change earlier and the increasing amount of water shortage that it would lead to. It leads to things like forest fires and erosion, and also the general scarcity of potable water, as well as the drying up of riverbeds and other freshwater sources. With these come the higher need for agricultural water because all of the land used for agriculture is drying up, and a large amount of water for human consumption as the population increases and the world gets hotter.
So what can we do about it? We propose implementing more desalination plants, and with the hopes of stopping the riverbeds from looking like that and returning them more to looking like that, because every drop you take out of the ocean as opposed to a natural aquifer is one more drop that's allowed to flow freely the way it should.
So desalination just refers to the removal of salt from water. It occurs by two main processes in use today. On the right, you see thermal desalination, which is where the salt water is boiled, the condensation is captured, and the salt is left behind. And on the left here, you see reverse osmosis desalination, where the salt water is forced through a membrane with pores much smaller than a human hair that the salt molecules cannot pass through, but the water molecules can pass through.
So the pros and cons of desalination: the biggest pro is its reliability. Next is the unlimited supply of seawater that we have on hand, because the Earth's like 96% water, and 75% of that's seawater. And also the reduced strains on natural aquifers. The cons are how expensive it is to implement. For example, a plant in California would cost $1 billion to complete. And it's currently more costly to bring it in by desalination than to bring it in by truck. But as time goes on, the disparity will get better. Another problem is the saline solution, but if properly handled, that won't be a problem either.
So this graph shows the increase in desalination plants operated worldwide. There are currently 20,000 plants operated across the globe, 300 of which operate in the United States. And in Florida alone, their desalination plants produce over 280 million gallons of potable water a day, which is more than any other state in the country and any other country on Earth.
So the future with desalination, the International Water Association predicts a 70% decrease in the desalination water cost in the next 20 years, which means it'll become a much more easy pill economically to swallow. And with renewable energy sources such as wave, solar, wind, and wave, these sources allow the desalination plants to reduce their carbon footprint, which is what we're all trying to do here. And as we move forward, we're hoping for a world that looks more like this and less like the dry riverbeds we showed before.
So this is where you come in. This is our call to action to you to stand up for desalination plants in three separate ways. You can advocate for them in your communities, you can vote for them on bills and budget collections in your local elections, and you can also pursue careers in the field through engineering, business, or accounting, or any other field that will contribute to the construction and running of the plants.
So to recap, natural resources of fresh water are becoming increasingly scarce worldwide. By 2070, the already taxed U.S. freshwater basin will be diminished by 30%. The population in that time will increase to 514 million from 300 million, so that's a 66% increase with a 30% decrease in the amount of water we're able to use, which spells trouble. But with desalination, we'll be able to bridge the gap, because not only is desalination extremely reliable, but it's also a simple process and a very positive force in the fight against climate change.